Today's topic, how to not feel lonely. This is a question that I get asked over and over again by Skype coaching clients, especially now during these times. How can I stop feeling lonely? Why do I feel lonely all the time? And what I want to do today is to give you some spiritual tips that are related to the law of attraction and also some general life advice that will help you to feel less lonely. Because a lot of people right now are isolating, a lot of people don't have the social contacts that they used to have, and yes, I am one of them. I'm also isolating and I actually enjoy it. I really love it. I meditate a lot, I get to know myself, I learn new things, I grow my businesses. It's an amazing time for me. But I also know that a lot of people who are still stuck at a lower level of consciousness and at a low vibration, they hate this time right now and they can't wait till it's over. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm also looking forward to it being over. But at the same time, I really enjoy being for myself and being with myself. And if you're not there yet, then this episode will help you tremendously. I know that it will help you. But I also know that you might not like the first and the most important tip I have for you. And this tip that I'm going to share with you right now is something that you should keep in the back of your mind with every tip that I'm going to share in this episode. Because it really is the most important, you could say overall realization that you have to make. And making this realization can be very, very painful. But there's one thing that you absolutely have to know and understand on a deep emotional level. It's impossible to feel lonely if you love being with yourself. Let me say that again. It's impossible to feel lonely if you love being with yourself. Right now I'm often alone, but I never feel lonely. There hasn't been a day in the last couple of months where I said to myself, I feel really lonely. I enjoy being with myself. I enjoy my alone time right now. I meditate, I work on new business projects, and I enjoy being with myself. But I only enjoy being with myself because I learned to love myself. This is the most important realization that you have to make. If you love being with yourself, if you love yourself, if you love the person that you see in the mirror, then it's impossible, and I really mean impossible, to ever feel lonely. If I would have gone through this right now, with this whole thing going on, not being able to meet friends, being isolated, if that would have happened to me a couple of years ago, where I was still trapped in this level of consciousness of, I need to survive, I'm stressed, I'm depressed, I want to die. If that would have happened a couple of years ago, I would be suffering right now. I would be crying myself to sleep every night. But because I worked on my trauma, because I learned to love myself, because I truly learned to love being with myself, I don't feel these emotions anymore. But I know exactly how you feel right now, in case you say to yourself, I feel lonely, because I've been there, and I don't even want to imagine how my life would have looked like back then, if this whole thing would have happened 2 years ago. I would have been in a very different place. And that's why it's so important that you learn to fall in love with yourself. Do it step by step. Don't expect miracles overnight. Start really, really slowly. For example, you can just start the day by looking in the mirror and saying to yourself, I love you. I love you. I love you. And say this a couple of times. And the first times you do it, it will feel strange and you will think to yourself, Sebastian is a complete idiot. Why do I even listen to him? Whenever I say I love myself, my brain says, no, you don't, no, you don't, no, you don't. But I promise you, the more you do it and the more you immerse yourself in learning to love yourself, if you make self-love a priority, slowly but steadily, this feeling of loneliness will go away. And if you then also start to meditate, maybe even with my vibration rocket meditation, which will help you to raise your vibration, and if you are then in a higher vibration, it will be easier for you to fall in love with yourself. You can actually find out more about this meditation if you click on the link in the description. But of course, you can also simply use a mantra meditation with I love myself and repeat over and over again in your meditation how much you love yourself. And you can write down your positive qualities and learn something about yourself and actually see that you are a lovable person, that you deserve love, that you are not supposed to feel lonely. And that actually brings me to the next point. You are not supposed to feel lonely just because everyone else tells you that when you are alone, it means that you should feel lonely. This is an epidemic in our society where everybody thinks that, okay, I'm alone, so that means I have to feel lonely, right? Because movies and songs and the advertising industry tells me that if I'm alone, it means I'm lonely. And in order to be happy, I need to be surrounded by people. I mean, hey, that's what the Coca-Cola advertising tells me, right? Be happy together. Everybody's celebrating. And then when I'm sitting alone in my bed, I have to feel lonely. This is a trick that your mind plays on you because you've been conditioned to believe that loneliness is the same as alone. And that when you are alone, you automatically have to feel lonely. And when you become aware of this crazy conditioning, you can already overcome this feeling of loneliness, because you can say to yourself, hey, just because I'm alone, it doesn't mean that I have to feel lonely. Just because everyone else equates loneliness with being alone, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to play by their rules. I can be myself, I can love myself, I can love being with myself. Yes, you have the freedom to love yourself and to love being with yourself. And you also have the freedom to trust the universe that everything happens for a reason. Instead of complaining about why you are lonely right now, think about the lesson that the universe wants you to learn. Whenever we experience hardship in our life, whenever there are some emotions that come up, emotions that we actually want to suppress, emotions that we want to push away, that's the learning experience, if you allow yourself to learn it. And believe me, I've pushed these emotions away for years and years and years. And as a result, I manifested terrible experiences and really bad health issues. And one of the health issues that I manifested 2 years ago is something that I'm now slowly overcoming. And during this time right now, I could also say, I'm so depressed. Why is it happening to me? Why do I have to go through this? But I reached a level right now where I know that the universe wants to teach me something. And even though I'm already dealing with this for the last couple of months, this experience catapulted me on a whole new spiritual level, and it allowed me to learn so much about myself, to develop so much love for myself, to develop so much love and empathy for my coaching clients. And that's why I'm thankful for this experience. And the same is true for your loneliness. Think about what the universe wants you to learn. What are some emotions that you always suppressed and that now come to the surface? Because the last year and also this year are years of awakening. That's where people wake up, because now people are forced to slow down. Even though a lot of people still try to act as if nothing is happening and they still go full speed, they then have to make this learning experience later on, which is also okay. Everybody's on their own unique journey. But right now, if you're listening to your inner being, if you're listening to the universe and you really feel, okay, this is happening for a reason. Why should I slow down right now? What is something I can learn about myself, about the universe, about the world, about the law of attraction, about manifesting? What's going on right now? Just ask yourself, why is it happening to me? That's often a very good question to ask yourself. Why is it happening to me? And not in the sense of, oh God, universe, why is it happening to me? Not like that. I want you to ask yourself with confidence and with an open heart and an open mind, why is this happening to me? What can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? And remember that you can still belong without human interaction. Human beings have the need to belong to a tribe or to a group. That's just how we are biologically designed. And you can create this feeling of belonging inside yourself without having contact with other people right now. For example, by listening to this, you belong to the group of deliberate creators, and you belong to the group of law of attraction practitioners, in case you decide to put my advice into practice. And I invite you to be a member of the Affirmation to Manifestation tribe. You can create this feeling of belonging without actually seeing people in person. And please don't blame yourself for feeling the way you feel. Stress messes up your vibration and your health. I know that from my own experience. Treat yourself with kindness. When you're feeling lonely right now, it's okay. You can use the advice that I share with you here to overcome your loneliness, and if you want, you can also book a Skype coaching session with me, in which I can share my own story, my own experience, and even more advice with you that focuses on your specific situation. But even if you decide to not book a Skype coaching session with me because you think, hey, listening to this guy's German accent every day is enough, I don't need that for a full hour, totally okay. So even if you want to take this path alone, don't blame yourself for feeling the way you feel. Do what you would do with a child. Soothe yourself. I mean, if for example a child would say, "Hey, I feel so lonely," you also don't scream at the child going, "What? You're lonely? You're so stupid. Jesus Christ." But that's exactly how we talk to ourselves. So instead of doing that, soothe yourself, be kind to yourself, and talk to the universe because it's your friend. If you allow it to be your friend. Yes, you have to allow it to be your friend. And that's why it's important to say, "Thank you, I love you. I trust you, universe. You are amazing. I know that you have my best interest in mind." If you connect with the universe as if the universe is your best friend, then you will feel less lonely because you're never alone. You might be alone in your physical form, but you know that there's always a higher power that supports you. And when you have this trust, then the magic can happen. And raise your vibration every morning. How can you feel lonely when you feel really good with yourself? It's impossible. And that's also why I decided to create the Vibration Rocket Meditation for you. I mean, to be honest, I actually decided to create it for you because raising your vibration is the most important step that you can take if you want to manifest anything in your life, whatever it might be. If it might be money, a car, a house, a lover, whatever you want to manifest, you need to match the vibrational frequency of it. But the Vibration Rocket Meditation can also help you with your feeling of loneliness, because when you raise your vibration and you just feel good, then you are not only in this space where you can manifest your dreams, but you are also in a space where you can no longer feel lonely. And if you want to find out more about the Vibration Rocket Meditation, the link is in the description. And when you are reaching out to people, be honest, be authentic, be completely open. From coaching so many people, especially Americans, I learned that a lot of times people have problems to really be open with their friends. And don't get me wrong, in case you're an American listening now, most of my coaching clients are Americans and I absolutely love you. But there's one thing that I want to address and that I have to address, and I hope you're not offended by it. I just address it because I think it's an important point to make. A lot of my American coaching clients told me that they have many friends, and when I then asked them if they ever talk to one of their friends about deep emotional topics, they say, "No, I don't think that I can do that." And I think that's a little bit of a cultural problem, because when you are, for example, let's say you visit Germany, you visit my home country, and you would ask somebody, "Hey, how are you?" There's a chance that this person says, "Today I'm not so good." And then you have an honest conversation about it. But when I, for example, traveled to the USA, no matter who you asked and no matter in which situation they were, whenever you ask, "Hey, how are you?" they were like, "Oh, I'm fine, thank you, and how are you?" There was always this element of I'm faking it because it's socially acceptable. But I challenge you to do the opposite. I challenge you right now, when you have these negative emotions, when you're feeling lonely, reach out to somebody. I mean, yes, you can of course talk to me in a Skype coaching session, but also if you decide to reach out to a friend, be honest, be authentic. And when you then open your heart, you will be surprised at how many people were also faking it. And when they realize that you open your heart, they open their heart too. And then you can connect with this person on a whole new level. And when you feel lonely, don't create unnecessary FOMO with social media. Don't create the fear of missing out, and don't do it on purpose. Yes, you can look at pictures on Instagram, but if you look at pictures on Instagram all day long and you see people having the perfect vacations with the perfect filter and the perfect photo shoot, then you will feel more and more lonely. Or if you, for example, spend all day long on TikTok and see people having fun and dancing around, I mean, it's not the best way to cure loneliness. And TikTok is actually, in my opinion, right now destroying a whole generation, but that's another topic. So limit your social media use. Instead, listen to things like my podcast or do things that nurture you, that give you value, instead of things that give you the feeling that you are lonely and that your life is miserable because you don't have the perfect life that others display on social media. And then enjoy the time you spend with yourself and really get to know yourself. Every day is like going on a date with yourself. No matter if you spend your time reading interesting books, learning new things, cooking yourself a delicious meal, or raising your vibration with the Vibration Rocket Meditation, try to enjoy the time you spend with yourself and get to know yourself. This alone can help you to fall in love with yourself. And once you are in love with yourself, you will never feel lonely again. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please send out some love to the YouTube universe by giving this video a big thumbs up. And I would also appreciate it if you would leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think about my video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to click on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you.